Hello there, you rather attractive human being you. I'm Chris from TechSpert, and today I'm going to be fondling the Moto G9 Power, Motorola's latest budget-friendly smartphone, which costs you just 179 quid SIM-free from the likes of Carphone Warehouse. Nice and easy on the wallet, but it still packs some pretty decent specs and a whopper of a 6000 mAh battery, matching the likes of the Poco M3. And of course, regular viewers will know how much I love a Moto. I'm so excited, my nipples are positively tingling. So I'm going to whip the G9 Power out of the box, take you on a full-on tour of the hardware and the software. And for more on the latest greatest tech, please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! Okay, so we've got one Moto G9 Power smartphone, and it actually comes pre-clad in a nifty condom case for extra protection, but if you want to play it dangerous, then you can just whip that off. And also bundled in the box, you've got your pop-up 3-pin plug and a thrilling bit of USB cable action as well, and thankfully it is Type-C, none of that micro USB nonsense. Oh, and the usual quick start and warranty guff and a pokey pin device to get your SIM in there. Alright, that's the box randomness out of the way. Let's have a proper squint at the Moto G9 Power. And first impression out of the box is definitely, holy moly, this is a bit of a beast. The Moto G9 Power is one of the bigger Motorola smartphones. It's a 6.8-inch whopper and it weighs 221 grams. Even though it's made of plastic, it's certainly got a hell of a heft to it. Not a particularly exciting design, don't get any of the flair that the likes of Realme often throw into their budget blowers, although you do have some curvy lines here to add a sort of textured finish to it. And yeah, the Moto G9 Power does feel rather plasticky, unsurprisingly, but as far as I can tell, it's solidly constructed. There's no flex as far as I can feel. And you can pick it up in a couple of different hues. This is the metallic sage, apparently, so there's a slight sort of greeny hint to it, I guess, when it catches the light just so. Otherwise, you can grab it in the electric violet colour if you want a proper bit of vibrancy in there. And like most wallet-friendly Motorola smartphones, the Moto G9 Power is water repellent as well. And don't go nuts and go taking it in the shower with you or anything. What that means is if there's a bit of a light rainstorm, no worries at all. If you kind of half spill a bit of your pint on it, then just basically giving it a quick wipe off, hopefully it'll be alright. Anywho, it's time to get the Moto G9 Power all set up, and then we'll take a full-on tour of the rest of the specs.
Hello, Moto.
Hello. And when you come to bung your SIM card into the Moto G9 Power, you'll see that there's space in there for 2 SIM cards, otherwise a single SIM card and a micro SD memory card to expand the storage up to a further 512 gigs. And considering you already get a pretty damn generous 128 gigs of internal storage, that's rather effing marvellous. Okay, so Moto G9 Power all set up, and I've been playing with it overnight as well just to get to grips with it, and so far seems like your standard Motorola budget blower. Unfortunately, it's not the freshest and latest Android 11 on this bad boy. It is still Android 10. Not sure when that's going to get updated, but you kind of hope before too long. Yeah, sadly, Motorola isn't the fastest around when it comes to updating its devices. All the same, it is a pleasingly stock version of Android as usual here on the Moto G9 Power, with just a few little Moto tweaks chucked on top. And one of the main differences is, of course, that Moto Experiences app, which has quite a few bonus features on top of standard Android, and also gives you fast access to a lot of the customization stuff that you might not otherwise know exists, like the ability to change up the styles quick and easy. Motorola has also added in some pretty nifty gesture support as well, including one of my favourites, of course, the Kung Fu torch effort. Cha! Absolutely love that one. You can easily take a screenshot, silence the smartphone, and so on and so on. You've got various tips and tricks, again, just to help highlight some of the features that you might not otherwise know exist. And as always, good news for gamers, because you've got some proper dedicated gaming controls for blocking notifications, hoarding resources, all that good stuff. And the Moto G9 Power actually introduced a new bit of gesture support as well, swipe to split, just hidden away here at the bottom. And this is supposed to allow you to enter split screen mode quickly and easily just by dragging your finger back and forth across the screen, and that worked really well. I think the problem there was I did it from the very edge and therefore went back instead. So let's try it from, yeah, not quite the edge. There we go, that works a charm. And then you can choose another app to split screen with. And then there you have it. And then as usual, you can sort of resize the 2 different windows. Quite handy for streaming a bit of YouTube while browsing the web or answering messages, whatever. And of course, for your security needs, you have a rear-mounted fingerprint sensor for actually unlocking the smartphone, which seems sort of, you know, fairly responsive. It doesn't take an absolute age. And so far, touchwood works every time as well. I haven't been asked to tap my finger again. And another feature that Motorola adds on top of Android is a good bit of face unlock action as well to supplement that fingerprint sensor. And this is a really good feature if your fingers are a bit mucky from, you know, baking or whatever. We won't ask questions. As you can see there, just tap your power button. As long as your face is well illuminated, it'll do the job. And the Moto G9 Power also supports a bit of raise to wake as well. And if you like the Google Assistant, good news. Like a lot of other Moto smartphones recently, you've got a dedicated Google Assistant button over there on the left edge. Give that a tap. And up the Google Assistant pops, hooray! I know, that's a good start. Let's hope that Google's not down again. As usual, you can't remap that button to another function, unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame because there are so many other ways of bringing up the Google Assistant. You really don't need a dedicated button, to be perfectly frank. And good news for these plaguey times as well, you've got full contactless payment support via NFC here on the Moto G9 Power. They should do in Europe, that might vary from region to region. Now let's have a squint at that IPS display. I say a squint, you don't need to squint to see this thing. It's a 6.8 inch behemoth, so definitely geared towards you media fans. Motorola actually calls it a max vision display. You've got pretty much a full view finish right there. You've just got that dinky little sphincter cutout pinhole thingy in the corner. Doesn't intrude too much on the action at all though, so don't worry about that. It's an HD plus resolution, sadly, not full HD plus, but I still found the images were reasonably crisp when I was watching back a bit of Netflix, Disney Plus, YouTube, whatever. Of course, you don't get the finer details that you do on a full HD plus display on smartphones like the Poco M3, so if that's going to bother you, then definitely try something like the M3 instead, which costs about the same. It's not the brightest panel around, so you might struggle somewhat in really strong daylight is the only thing, but otherwise should be fine. The fact that colour temperature was quite neutral on those default settings and more vivid hues did shine through when I was watching the likes of animation and stuff like that. You can play around with the actual colour saturation levels in the display settings. As for the audio output, well, it's just a mono speaker housed here at the bottom end of the Moto G9 Power. You don't get a stereo speaker setup, unlike some other Motorola smartphones. Let's just boost up the volume and see what we got. Well, suck me through a hosepipe, that is nuts! Okay, so on the very top volume, it's still not exactly uber powerful. It'll be absolutely fine for just, chilling with a bit of video action in your homestead. If you're trying to watch something out and about in a really busy, noisy area, you'll probably struggle. But of course, as usual, you've got full Bluetooth support and you've got a good bit of headphone jack action as well, so you can get all wired up and get some headphones on the go. Now, powering the Moto G9 Power is Qualcomm's fairly fresh Snapdragon 662 chipset, which is also found in the standard Moto G9, the Moto G9 Play, and of course that Poco M3. I did find with those smartphones you'd get the occasional little judder here and there as you're sort of flicking through just general everyday use, but generally apps load up nice and quick. You're not left hanging about, and even with just 4 gigs RAM on board, you should have absolutely no trouble with your everyday shenanigans here on the Moto G9 Power. And a good bit of Geekbench, the benchmarking scores are fairly consistent and actually a little bit better than what I saw on the Poco M3, which I'm guessing is down to the fact that you don't have that heavy MIUI overlay on the top. It's that nice stock version of Android. If you're a gamer, you should get by absolutely fine on the Moto G9 Power as well. As I mentioned before, you've got those game time features which you can bring up by tapping that icon. Otherwise, if you go into the settings, you can change that to swiping from the edge of the screen instead, which I actually prefer. I think that's a better option. And using game time, as you can see there, you can block all incoming notifications and calls and everything, so you're not disturbed by, your boss saying, "Why are you doing the spreadsheets?" And a few of the more important options are available via the quick toggle, like so, which is just nice and easy to pull up mid-game. And because you've got the Adreno 610 GPU on that Snapdragon 662 chipset, that means that games like Call of Duty Mobile, PubG and stuff should play absolutely fine on the higher detail levels. I played a couple of quick games on the Moto G9 Power just to be sure, and sure enough, no judders or anything, apart from a tiny little one maybe at the very start of a match, and that's basically it. Good screen responsiveness as well, so perfectly playable throughout. Now, one of the main advantages of the Moto G9 Power over the likes of the G9 Play is the fact that you've got a mighty 6,000 mAh battery stuffed inside of this thing. And that's the same as the Poco M3 as well, which gave me fantastic battery life. I found I'd easily get a day and a half of fairly intensive use out of that thing, 2 days if I wasn't going too crazy, and I'm expecting the exact same, if not a little bit better here from the Power. And thankfully you've also got 25 watt fast charging as well, so hopefully it won't take too long to fill up that behemoth battery once it is drained. And now let's finish up with a quick squint at the Moto G9 Power's triple lens rear camera, which is headed up by a 64 megapixel shooter. And Motorola has actually changed up its camera interface for the Moto G9 Power. So what you've got here is the Camera 3.0 UI, and it's basically designed to give you fast access to your major features and also provide easier one-handed use. So you can snap away quite merrily, and at any point if you want to change the major settings, all you need to do is flick up like so, or just tap this little arrow icon as well, and as you can see that brings up the flash, the timer and the active photos options. Otherwise, you can just quickly toggle through the different options by tapping these little icons here as well. And it's a 64 megapixel quad pixel sensor as well, so it doesn't actually shoot at 64 megs by default, it shoots at 16 megs, just using 4-in-1 pixel binning technology. What it basically does is just combines the information from 4 pixels into one, just to produce brighter, more balanced results. But if you do like a bit of 64 meg action, no worries, just tap into the extra bonus camera modes, and as you'll see there is an ultra res option in there, and this will shoot at that full 64 megapixels. And as you can see there, you've got plenty of other bonus modes on there as well, including a bit of night vision, which is always helpful, so that will just shoot lots of different photos at different exposure levels, combine them all together, and hopefully you'll get nice bright results in low light scenarios. And generally the Motorola smartphones do a pretty good job on a budget. Good bit group selfie, of course, not really very applicable in these COVID-y times, shouldn't be doing that. And one of my other Motorola favourites, Spot Colour, which you pretty much only get on Motorola smartphones. You can just drag this little doohickey about, and as you can see there, it then focuses only on that colour, and every other colour is basically whitewashed. And yes, it is a triple lens setup, and I bet you can't guess what the other two lenses are. You do, of course, have a depth sensor for your portrait shots, and yes, you do have, indeed, a macro lens. Hooray! Everyone loves a macro lens. And if you want to capture some sexy home movies where you can capture them at full HD resolution, sadly there's no 4K option, although you can bump it up from 30 FPS to 60 frames per second. And then up front you've got a 16 megapixel selfie cam as well, which you can swap to like so, and you got the full complement of bonus modes as well, including the portrait mode. You can even use that night vision mode with the selfie cam too. And have you ever met anyone as photogenic as me? No, you goddamn well haven't. So there you have it. That in a nutshell is the Motorola Moto G9 Power. As I say, it can be yours right now for around the £160 mark, SIM-free from the likes of Carphone Warehouse or direct from Motorola's website. And so far, certainly seems like a viable alternative to the likes of the Poco M3, around that £150 price point. You've got that respectable 662 chipset, which provides solid everyday performance, and you can even do a good bit of gaming thanks to the Adreno 610. You've once again got another whopper of a battery, 6000 milliamp. You've got NFC support, which the Poco M3 didn't have, but it is just an HD Plus display here rather than full HD Plus, which you got on the Poco. So if you're not too bothered about super crisp visuals, you'd rather have that NFC support for your contactless payments and of course a good bit of stock Android action, well, it may be that the G9 Power is the way forward. I'm hoping to get a full in-depth review on the go if I manage to cram it in before the next set of launches, which is happening pretty much in a couple of weeks. But it'd be great to hear your own thoughts on the Moto G9 Power. If you've actually been using it, it'd be great to get your own mini review down below. And please do poke subscribe, ding that notifications bell, and have yourselves a lovely rest of the week. Cheers everyone, love you!